Welcome to a whole new Getting to Know You series, because we have these wonderful, I think they're stars in the constellations of TBN, and it's my great pleasure today to be with Jules, who you all kind of know that Jules does these breakthrough things, but what does it mean? Because the first thing is you're not preachy, are you? So you've broken through loads of things yourself, but it's not that if I can do it, you can do it.
I'm not preachy, Lex. No, I'm not preachy at all. But if I can do it, you can do it.
And there comes the first P, which I really love about what you do, which is possibility.
Possibility. What would you do if you got up in the morning and anything was possible? Would you do the same as you were going to do today? Would you do the same tomorrow? I don't know. But what my work's all about, exploring possibility.
And it's giving people, another P I've got from our conversations in preparation for this, is permission. Here we are in this lovely space where you help people have their day-long breakthrough sessions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, the word, and it is my word, it's not the word you used, you're giving them permission to share stuff that's never been shared before, completely safely and with no judgment.
That's true. I don't give anybody permission. I create the space that they give themselves permission. And I think that's a whole different level.
Space was the word you used, yeah. Space to vocalise.
Space to vocalise, space to be, space to, sometimes for the first time in your life, to actually be who you are. Get in touch with who you are. That's massive.
It is, isn't it? And we're quite complex people, aren't we? So I was talking on the way over here about road rage, and there's a little bit of me that gets angry, but it's not the whole me. So you're helping people get in touch with the fuller version of themselves?
Yeah. People quite often say, we label ourselves, we say, I'm angry, I'm not any good. I think you, Lex, you said I'm angry, didn't you, some of the time. And I think, is that you? Is that the whole you?
No. It's almost like a Mr. Men story, isn't it? Mr. Angry.
Yeah.
You're not Mr. Angry all the time.
Yeah. So what I do is I just really enable people to look at who else are you, and quite often you've been labelled by other people around you. Oh, he's angry. She's angry. They're just irritated, irritable. Is that it? Is that the full picture? So when people come to me, we actually look at who else they are. And what I do is I say, how do you do anger? Not you are angry. Your name isn't angry. How do you do anger? And then we look at, do you want to carry on doing anger? Because if you do, that's cool.
Yeah.
After a day with me, probably you won't want to carry on doing anger. But yeah.
God, I love that. How do you do kindness and compassion? So it's programming. Some of you here will know that Jules is very much a champion of neurolinguistic programming, and I'm not always sure that the word neurolinguistic programming, the phrase, does it any favours.
It's clumsy.
But it is programming, isn't it? You talked about coding.
I talked about coding, and the thing is, I think that if you think about our brain, our thought patterns as being like a series of apps, and you might have an app on your phone that you don't want anymore, so you get rid of it. You delete it. Well, I enable you to do that with your thinking. So if you don't want to be angry anymore, if you don't want to think angry anymore, let's get rid of it. It's just
not serving you in the same way.
If it's not serving you anymore, get rid of it.
What if I have some sort of other gain from this? My anger is always righteous anger. I'm always right. The other motorists are wrong. They don't know how to use their left indicator. They're clearly in the wrong. I'm getting some pleasure from being angry. Am I going to lose my joy?
We can keep angry if you want to, but what I would say to that is, what secondary gain are you getting?
Yes.
I lived my whole life, my whole adult life, in a state of secondary gain. So I think once I'd got rid of that, you can be a little bit naked and exposed, but let's put something else in. Let's install something else that you want to be.
Secondary gain is language you and I understand.
Secondary gain is about what are you getting from keeping up with what you're doing,
What's the
how you're
payoff?
behaving, what else are you getting back. So an example for that is if you're in a relationship that's not very helpful, you could be the one that's given a lot of sympathy by a whole lot of other people. And, you know, oh, she's so good. How does she put up with him? How does he put up with her? That's secondary gain. And it can be a comfortable place.
So martyrdom then.
It's all about martyrdom, Lex. It's all about martyrdom, and it's all about putting yourself maybe in a better light to justify that you're not actually doing anything positive about it.
Let's have a word from Soteri.
Oh, Soteri, my linguistic idol. Soteri Wogan used to say, if we're spared in the morning, let's make the best of the day. We'll see you tomorrow. So if we are spared in the morning, what are we going to do? What are we going to do tomorrow?
So isn't that a word for today?
Absolutely.
I think as we come into 2021, it's more uncertain. As I'm feeling more uncertain than I was when all this kicked off. And you've got a message of hope and possibility and energy and ownership.
Definitely own it. Just grab the day. That's what I say. And to me, if we are spared, and I don't know, we might not be, but if we are spared, what do you want to do differently? Isn't that what it's all about?
Mm.
If you didn't like today, if you didn't like yesterday, why repeat it tomorrow? It doesn't make any sense.
I have to hasten the ad here that if you come to Jules for a breakthrough session, it's not a cuddle and tissues, because she ain't going to leave you where you are. If you come here, you come for a reason, you come here for an outcome. You're a bit of a transformer, aren't you?
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to put some of your own words back in your mouth. So what? Now what?
Do you know what, Lex? So what, now what? And stuff happens, life happens, it gets the better of us, but you can either put your head under the duvet or you can sit up and then stand up and take responsibility for what you want to happen next. Yeah.
And what I liked most about, and it really is what I liked most about your story, so there's so much about your story that I love, and we're sharing the tiniest window into that story in this short presentation, but the people who have stood by you in the darkest times, I think that's a message for our network, isn't it? This year, some of us have not been able to do business, so our networking was not about making sales or introducing people to get sales.
Absolutely. And I think, like you said, Lex, for people to stand by each other, and we both talked about vulnerability and overcoming vulnerability. Show that you're vulnerable, yes, but what are you going to do about it? How are you going to overcome that? And for people to stand together and support you through that is insane. It's wonderful. Yeah.
And for those of us who want to break through and who doesn't, this sounds like the best year ever to start living life to the full. What do we do?
Well, what we do is, and I'll just give a very brief insight into a breakthrough day. You basically come in the morning and we will unpack your life and we will get rid of anything that you don't want left there, and we will expose what you do want. And some people have never really done that. They've never really thought about what they do want. And then you leave here with a plan of, okay, so start now. Then we start talking about, once the possibilities have been uncovered, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna use them? Yeah. No, there's no abandonment here.
And in two Latin words.
Wrist.
How many wrist?
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Yeah.
Seize the day.
Seize the day. It's your day. It's your day, nobody else's. Just grab it.